Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, we're going to be learning about method overloading in Java. So method overloading is simply having more than one method that shares the same name, but uses different number of parameters. Now let me show you what I mean by that with this example. So I have this class here called person, and notice how I have two methods. And both methods are named greet, okay? Now if I were to call greet, how does it know which version of this method to use? How does it know to use this one instead of this one? Well, it does so by looking at the number of parameters that are being used. You'll notice that this one uses 1, and this one here uses 2 parameters. So if I go here in the main method, you'll see that I created a person object, so I'm able to call the greet method on it. But here I'm only providing one string, so I'm only using one parameter. And because of that, it knows to use this version of greet. Okay. Now on the next line here in the main method, you'll notice that I'm doing the same thing, except that I'm providing two strings. Okay. So I'm using two parameters. You'll see that this comma here separates both strings. I'm using two parameters, and because of that, it knows to use this version of greet. Okay. So method overloading is simply having more than one method that uses the same name, but uses different number of parameters. Okay. Now the reason why you might want to use something like this is to give the user, when I say user, I mean the person who's going to use your method, okay? Whether that's you or some other developer or programmer on the team. It's good to give them some options as to how many parameters to provide. Okay, so for example, in this case here, if they only have the first name, then the output would be hello, my name is, and then the first name. But if they have the first and last name, then the output could be a little bit more detailed, right? So hello, my name is first name and last name. You could also create a new version of greet that uses the middle name, right? So it would be like first name, middle name, and last name. But not everybody has a middle name. So it's always good to have different options like that. Okay. And also keep in mind that all of them, because they all share the same name, they should all pretty much do the same thing, right? So you'll notice that this one says, hello, my name is, and then the name, right? So this one is a greet, you're greeting someone. And this one here is also doing the same thing, but just a bit more detailed, right? So all your overloaded methods should still retain that same design as the original or the first method with that same name, okay? All right, so one last thing is I wanted to go over this cool trick on how to remember what method overloading is for. So if you look at the shape of a method, you'll notice that it kind of resembles a gun. And so with a gun, you could load in the bullets from the top, and in the same way, you could load in new parameters into a method, right? Also from the top. So, hopefully that kind of helps you remember uh, what method overloading is for. You're loading it with new parameters from the top. Okay. All right. So that is all for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks.